Welcome everyone to the Mark for Life Wrestling Show. We're looking at an Extreme Rules match, Extreme whatever,
Yeah.
normal rules pay-per-view tonight. I'm Jeff
Yeah.
Bailey.
And I'm
I'm
Jerry
Jeff,
Jones, right?
and yeah,
We're
man, we're gonna break down normal rules.
normal rules, man. I mean,
Card going into tonight. What do you think about this
well,
average pay-per-view?
typically I've always believed that rules were meant to be broken.
Oh yeah, right.
But apparently,
Especially in a wrestling match, right?
especially in a wrestling match,
I
especially for a
mean, come
pay-per-view.
on.
But you know what? Maybe Jeff, maybe they're going for the fake out. Maybe, they're not
Ultimate.
posting.
Ultimate fake out,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. They're like,
Biggest.
you guys think, we
You
don't have
thought
any
that
stipulations. We've
you
got
thought some
stipulations.
you thought crazy things were gonna happen. You might know, yes, maybe. Who knows? We're not gonna
Oh my
tell you.
gosh.
You better tune in.
So, am I reading this right? Are there only 6 matches on the
I
card,
mean,
on the announced card tonight?
I hate the way it looks. Yes.
Wow. Okay, that could be a good
I
thing.
mean, I'm looking at Universal Champ,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
Reigns, Balor,
Yeah.
uh, Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch, Bianca,
In the EST. Yeah. Going
and
at
then
it.
yep, and then the Usos, Street Profits.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the Liv Morgan, Carmella. Yeah, I mean
Oh
that's good.
yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at 6 matches. That's it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes less is
3
more.
hours, a half-hour match.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, here's the thing.
Lots of promo time tonight. Nothing like a lot of comedy at the Extreme Rules
So
show.
here's what I'm going to say, Jeff. I have to own the fact that I have been coming in with some serious WWE bias. Uh,
Why
and
so, Jerry?
because I love
Why
wrestling.
so?
I love wrestling.
Yeah, at its core,
And I
yes.
remember not a time in a not so distant past where the WWE actually had not just pro wrestling, but amazing pro wrestling. And so I need
Yes,
to
of
own the
course.
fact that I've got bias, and I'm going to put that out there, and I'm going to do my best to set that aside as we predict what we believe could happen
Well,
in
I
tonight's pay-per-view.
I just wonder why watch? You know? Why would your average Joe tune into said event and check it out? If
I,
if you were just like a Joe on the street and you saw this Extreme Rules sign and you're like, what am I gonna see tonight?
I think
Is
honestly,
this a
like
show that even draws in a new fan at all? Are you
I
gonna tell a decent story with how do you draw in a new fan tonight?
well, I don't
Because man, I'm
know.
not sold on any of this.
I'm not sold, and yet I'm I'm going to watch
Okay.
because I need that fix.
Okay.
I need it. And
I'll play. I'm gonna play your devil's advocate for this card. Okay.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Let's look at it. All right. Let's break it down. Liv Morgan, Carmella.
Well,
Who's going over?
let me start by acknowledging that as part of my WWE bias, I couldn't tell you anything about Liv Morgan and Carmella. I don't know why there. I don't know anything about them. I haven't seen anything in the past few episodes of Raw or SmackDown that would make me go, "Oh, this match makes sense." I, but you know what? It's good. I will tell you what I am excited about for this card is that there is some equity. So, part of my outside of Marked for Life wrestling, I spend a lot of time on equity issues, especially in health. But to see like gender equity, we've got three
Right.
great matches on half
Three
of the
women's
card,
matches, a split
half
card.
it's a split card, and I think that's awesome. I I'm gonna pull it out of my butt and say I think Carmella is gonna take this match tonight without knowing anything about their story.
I mean, yeah, and they just, I mean, had Liv lose on Friday.
Yeah,
Awesome. Nothing
yeah,
like losing in a going home match, of course. That's
right.
just great.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, and just I've not seen anything to care about either of them.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
But you know what?
You know?
Because I have almost no expectations for this match. Watch this match.
Of course.
Be a great match.
5 minutes. If it can go 5 minutes,
That's
I'll be impressed.
Yeah. I wonder what I'm curious to know, like what will last longer, the match or all of the promos prior to the match? That's what I'd like to know.
I mean, I'm got 3 hours to burn with 6 matches.
Yeah.
You know, I'm expecting. I mean, if you think the 2 title matches go 20 minutes each plus, and in some, what's the extreme? Who knows? I mean, what scenario are we talking about? Are we talking about a cage match? I mean, are we talking about? We don't even know.
Well, see, but Jeff, I actually do. I'm starting to come around and say, that's actually been part of the draw, because that has been the conversation on Twitter, at least, is look like what's the hell? What's going on? What's the stipulation? What are the rules? And so there's a part of me that they may have backdoored themselves into intrigue by calling it Extreme Rules and then just never saying anything at all about the stipulations.
But here's the thing, man. I mean, if you're looking for building intrigue about what kind of matches are, I feel like every time they do these kind of events where they don't know exactly what you're going into and matches are really hastily booked, stuff like that, it ends up just being a really rough show, and it ends up being super choppy and weird.
Yeah.
And the finish isn't all, getting weird and strange, and we're less entertained.
Yeah.
And we're bored.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, so as a fan of wrestling, the two things I want out of every single match is I want to be entertained, and I want all the participants to leave the ring healthy. That's what I always want for every single match. And to your point, the challenge, like, what I hope is that they know what, whatever the stipulations are, whatever the setup is in it, that they've known for a while, they've been able to prepare for it. They've been, working, choreographing, doing all the work, because I want them to leave the ring healthy. And more importantly for me, I want to be entertained. But if it is like the Wheel of Death or whatever, the old, WCW.
Oh God, the Wheel of Doom.
The Wheel of Doom. I don't want to see that, because I don't want to see that as a fan, because like you said, it's always choppy, and I don't want that for the athletes. I want them to be able to perform to their highest level and not get injured on some dumb stuff. So,
and for me, I agree with you on a lot of those points, but one of the things that I really always want to see wrestling match, especially if it's someone that's up and coming, I want to see the next thing. What's the next part of your character that develops?
Yes.
What's the next? I want to make sure they're getting the chance to take the next step in their characters.
Yeah.
Throw these weird choppy shows at them. Doesn't let them maybe, show that next part of their ability.
Yeah.
The next step in their storytelling.
Yeah. So I like this, actually, Jeff, and as we go forward, I actually like that as criteria. So like if we're scoring matches, I think there's entertainment value, and then there's story arc or character development. I'm not sure if Liv and Carmella creates an opportunity for either one of them to develop their character, their story arc.
Carmella is a one no, she's very pony. It's not even really about winning. It's about looking good and
yeah. So
and that's always what her deal is. And I'll tell you the match I'm really curious about. I really hope Liv Morgan goes over and walks away from this. Hopefully, who knows?
Yeah.
Because I think she's pretty good. I hate to see good people get bugged down in a dumb angle that doesn't take them anywhere.
So are you calling Liv Morgan going over tonight?
Liv.
All right. I've got Carmella.
I'll put a check mark by Liv.
All right, I've got Carmella tonight. I like that. So I love that we're disagreeing. We've got our first Mark for Wrestling disagreement here. I love it.
Hey, as it should be. But what so the match I'm actually most intrigued on in this card is the triple threat. The Damian Priest, Sheamus, Jeff Hardy match. Because I know Sheamus is tough as a boot.
Mm-hmm.
And, in these typical extreme matches, especially ladder matches, he proves himself to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And takes tons of punishment, and he's, deals it out. Jeff Jeff Hardy in an Extreme Rules match. Well, he might do he can't do quite the full insanity anymore at his age, but the big question mark is Damian Priest.
Yeah.
What do you see out of him? I mean, I hear lots of great things about this guy. I listen to him in interviews, and he seems so awesome. Not sold on his promo skills.
No.
In the ring, in front of crowds, he just seems nervous when he talks, which is, it's just, you need to bring your charisma level to another. You need to find that next level, and quickly. You got the U.S. title, so I'm curious what he brings to a big match with,
Yeah, he's got to bring it tonight. His promo, whatever he does as far as promo tonight, needs to be on point. I think he's got decent ring skills, but he needs to bring it all tonight. I do believe this is a match. I think the only reason why it's a triple threat match is that wrestling fans have shamed WWE into including Jeff Hardy into this match. Like when we saw Jeff out there with the throng of nameless faces for the 24/7
idiots,
like just disrespecting a Hall of Famer, like a no doubt about it Hall of Famer legend
who built the brand.
So what I will say for WWE is that they are listening. It tells me that they're doing their best to listen to wrestling fans. I think if he was not in this match, it wouldn't be a bad match. I just don't think it would be as interesting. And I'm hopeful that there are some Extreme Rules in this match. I'm hopeful that you get a TLC match or something.
I really sincerely hope so. I mean, if there's nothing involved, if there's nothing, no table or ladder or anything in this match, it'll be pretty boring.
But to me,
I look for Damian to go over, man. That's my vote.
We're in agreement here, and I think
neither of these other guys need to put any hardware on.
Well,
they could do a lot to put this guy over.
They could do a lot, and I just feel like that in the last pay-per-view that WWE disrespected a champion, in Bianca. So, and we'll get to her match in a minute. That you've got to if you value your champions and you value the championship, I think Damon's go over, but it's going to be a part of it's got to be on him tonight. He's got to bring it. I want him to not only win, but I want him to go over. I want him to have a stellar match.
I agree completely.
Yeah, he's got to bring it.
Otherwise, he's look good. He needs to lay these two guys out.
Yeah.
I said, they can do a lot for him.
Mhm.
And Jeff Hardy can sell like a madman.
Oh
So,
yeah,
you know,
100%. Yeah, but
like I said, they could do a lot to take this guy's character to
uh,
another level. So I look for Damien to go over.
yeah. So we're back reunited, and it feels so good. We're we're back on one accord. We both got Damien.
So let's go to the Smackdown titles
mm.
and the Street Profits.
So I only saw I saw, and I this is where I felt one of the Street Profits that they had a singles match with Roman on Friday, and the kid gave a great promo that night.
Promo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like,
two of them,
yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
I mean,
And so I'm looking at that going, well, maybe this guy's ready for singles, which tells me I've got the Usos winning tonight.
I think so.
Yeah.
Far off with you. They don't, Roman put a pretty big beat down. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some taped ribs.
Yeah.
Tonight. And I said, look for the Usos to go over.
Look for them to go over. I will say this for all
Profits
four
are
of them.
kind of going somewhere, though. I mean, seeing good things.
They really are. And
I'd love to see these guys in Private Party have a match.
The Street Profits,
so
are in
great.
the wrong promotion right now, man. The Street Profits in AEW would be absolutely amazing.
WWE has way too many tag teams just floundering and nothing.
They're floundering. But I will say this, though. I think that both teams, this is an opportunity. I mean, yeah, I think the Usos go over. There's a lot of pressure on this particular tag team match because anybody who's watching both promotions see that it is the tag team, the quality of matches in AEW is exponentially superior to
so much higher.
matches. Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at a tag title match. By the way, Raw titles not even being defended.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I know. I guess you're doing that, of course, because MVP, or whatever. But no, you're getting absolute barn burners in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Lucha Brothers and and the Young Bucks are clearly the best tag team in the world.
And then you've got FTR. You've got even FTR, the Barber and the Blade are decent. I'm like, oh my gosh,
the Butcher looking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, just so badass. But I bet they want to bring it. The Usos are never. You got to admit, are a tag team that's never super impressed by me. I've never been super impressed by them.
They're going to have to. I don't see them
losing anything. They're not losing any hardware.
I don't see them losing hardware. I think, in large part because of the probably, I'm sure the last match we'll talk about at the end is part of why I'm pretty confident they're going to hold on to their titles tonight.
They'll be part of it. I think they'll be part of the finish tonight.
Yeah.
Shit around here.
Yeah. So we're both in agreement. We believe the Usos will go over. But I think I'm hopeful for a great tag match tonight.
All right,
the Street Profits are going to push them.
You think Becky Bianca?
Ooh. You know what? This is a tough one. Because wrestling fans were, I think rightfully so, just upset by how it all went down with Becky and Bianca. That being said, I believe Becky's holding on to the title tonight.
Right.
And I think, honestly, the fact that I think Bianca holding her own in promos with Becky, I think is amazing. But I don't know. It's just a gut instinct for me that she's going to hold on to the title tonight.
I hope so, man. I mean,
she's going to hold on. I mean, I'm saying this knowing that the draft is coming up. So in my mind, if I'm putting my Vince McMahon hat on and I am shuffling the deck, I'm thinking about who do I know 100% can carry the women's division in SmackDown? No question, no doubt about it. And I'm like, I have zero doubts about Becky. I have no doubts about the man at all.
Man does it.
And that being said, I'm not saying I don't have any doubts about Bianca. I'm just saying and I'm also thinking like, man, how do I spice up Raw? I'm sending Bianca to Raw.
I mean, yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. But I mean, just don't like the heel back.
Yeah.
That was just so unnecessary.
Yeah.
You could have just had her so over as a baby face for a while, and then gone to the and then had her turn and actually have it mean something.
Right.
This is pointless.
Yeah.
They were just looking for a big moment.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of backfired.
Yeah. I don't like. Let me preface it by saying I don't like.
I just hope she makes her look good tonight. That's all
I don't like. I didn't like. I felt like they were desperate in the last pay-per-view. I didn't like the man returning in that way. I think it was way too soon. Why would you waste Bianca? Why not build
your main event player?
Yes.
And not tell a long story and not tell a good story with
right.
Her.
Yes. You could have
bring her back for no reason.
You could have built it up for the big pay-per-view next month or November they're going to Saudi Arabia, whenever that one is. Like you could have there's some storytelling. The crown, yeah. You could have done some great storytelling, and I guess that's where I'm frustrated is they were panicking in the writing room instead of having a compelling narrative that they could stick with and build upon. And that's the problem for me.
Not playing a long enough game.
Yeah.
Not playing a long enough game. And that's just that's just kind of the failure of WWE creative right now.
Yeah.
I think.
Unless
it's not why the product isn't more interesting and compelling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, that's the total reason. Mm-hmm. I mean, so then we move on to Charlotte and Alexa.
Wow. All right, I will say this. This is the match of all the matches that I am most interested in seeing.
Yes, because I think Alexa can go, and I think she really wants to show it.
Oh,
it's not a supernatural doll. It's time to go out, put out there and go and be awesome, and just crush it. And just whip her ass for 15 minutes and show everybody it's awesome. I mean, I don't think she's gonna win, but
see, that's where I disagree. This is where we venture. I
think you're gonna go Alexa?
Yes, I believe Alexa's going
Bliss.
over.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's time here. And part of my calculus is the queen is the queen. If there's any performer in the company that does not need a belt, it is Charlotte Flair. Because even if
you're right.
Even if you're holding the belt,
you're right.
Yeah, you're holding the belt. 100%. You're not Charlotte Flair, like, and she can take your title when she's good and goddamn ready. Is kind of how I view her character, and which is why I think Alexa goes.
Why give it away? Tonight. Why give it away? Why even mess around? I mean, I
feel like Vince is trying. I think they're gonna. I feel like the draft. In my mind, I'm thinking about the draft, and I'm like, okay, what's going to happen with Charlotte. Like, you can move Charlotte, or you could keep her in Raw, you can move her to SmackDown, and you've got her in the man.
If they do that, if they make that move, and you put the belt on Alexa and you ship Charlotte to SmackDown, I believe that is Vince McMahon saying, I don't care about Raw anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's a risk, right?
And SmackDown is clearly our number one brand, and we just don't care about the Raw brand anymore.
I mean, that's a big gamble. I mean,
talk about devaluing a bunch of your product. And what's that say to the fine folks at the USA Network and
you're right,
advertisers?
So that's a very great point, because I feel like Charlotte, Lashley, a handful of others, they've been carrying Raw. I mean, which is what you want your champions to do. I mean, they've been carrying,
of course,
the program.
That's exactly what they do.
But if you're Fox, you're kind of, so Charlotte interviewed, I watched The Herd with Colin Cowherd, and she was on right before the last pay-per-view. And I think Fox covets Charlotte. I
think so.
Yeah. If I'm Fox and I'm looking at the women's division, I'm thinking, because like Fox is like, I need more female eyeballs so I can sell them. I want more women watching football on Sundays. I want more women watching whatever the programming. And I know that if I get Charlotte, I might get the women, and I might get their boyfriends or husbands or whoever. Like,
oh wow.
And that's kind of where I'm going. I think Fox wants her. I don't think it's going to be 100% Vince's call on this draft. I think the networks are kind of pushing him a little bit, saying, Vince, come on, man, you've got two networks who want more out of him, and he doesn't currently have the capacity to deliver more to them.
That's the thing. He's got the power to give them more and everything more. I mean, that's the truth of it all. I mean, go out there and put out some of the most amazing product of all time if he chose to do so, and chose to put a few bucks behind it. And I mean, look at what could be possible with just with their own roster.
Yes.
With an open door, with the super card or anything else. I mean,
well,
I don't buy that. Like, I don't buy that they don't have the talent around to be.
Oh, the talent is
throwing
there.
Out insanely good product every night.
He's going to have to do something, because you can't. I mean, what's the point of having SmackDown, having Raw, if you've got Roman now, who's like, man, I got to help salvage Raw. I guess I'll be, he's wrestling all week. And then you got Big E, who's having to do the same thing. And you're like, at a certain point, I mean, you're going to run these guys and gals ragged.
All right. Speaking of, all right, we've brought Rome. We brought the head of the table up here. We got about 7 or 8 minutes, I think, to the start of the pay-per-view here. And Roman, I think, clearly is not losing a belt tonight.
No.
What do you look for the Demon to bring tonight?
So
gonna give us a show.
I think we're gonna see a really strong performance from Finn tonight. I feel bad for him. But I hope he goes over. I hope that he can really step into the Demon character. But there's no chance in hell, to quote Vince's interest music. There's no chance in hell he wins the SmackDown title tonight. There's no way.
I look for just maybe a few good spots to make this a long match, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking for maybe I mean, Brock shows up, Usos come back out.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
Well, I was going to ask you, like, any predictions on who we might see that is not scheduled to be seen tonight.
I would hope Brock
Yeah.
be the Brock just coming and annihilating someone would probably be great. Just to
Yeah.
remind us he's here.
Yeah.
Remind those fine Saudi fans that he exists
Mm-hmm.
and that their top dollar coming up at Crown Jewel is worth every penny.
Yeah.
So I'm sure seeing him annihilate someone would be good. Who that person is, whether it's going to be Roman after the match is over,
Yeah.
just ends up crushing one of the Usos through a table. I
Mm.
wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Take any of it.
Yeah.
What about you? Any special?
I
Calling any special predictions?
no, sadly, I don't have. I almost, when we were talking about the triple threat match, I almost called Hardy. But no, I don't have any. I don't imagine any other special guests other than Brock. I don't know, unless New Day. I mean, I don't know why we would see New Day, but who knows? Who knows?
Dropping in for an assist.
Yeah.
Who knows? Or I mean, could see Big E come in for an assist.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Bobby. Who knows? That's not. None of these are really big surprises. They're going to be there no matter what. I mean, I'm sure they're all in the locker room.
Is there any chance in the world that we would see Bray Wyatt? Is there any? I mean, because we've all assumed that he's going to sign with AEW.
This is all work. And
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's done. I mean, it's not. I highly doubt that I don't think Vince's game is that good anymore.
No. No.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to be underwhelmed. Again, my WWE bias. So I will probably come back. I mean, I don't know if we want to review this show.
I don't think.
If
we want to do a quick. We want to do a post show. We can do it.
We can do a quick post show if it's worthy.
Just to tally the X's and O's.
Yeah, we respect you, wrestling fans, enough to, if it's worthy. If it's just garbage, then we'll all know it's garbage.
We'll see you Wednesday night, guys. If it's garbage, we'll see you Wednesday.
Jeff's prediction is that we will see everybody on Wednesday. My prediction is that we are going to see you tonight. I believe that we are going to be shocked and amazed that Vince McMahon.
Shock and awe.
This is my ultimate. That Vince McMahon is going to show why he is the best to ever do it. The game has not passed him by. That's my prediction tonight. There's going to be a great show tonight. It's going to be a great show.
All righty.
And I'm not going to die on that sword, but that's my prediction.
What are we bet? Are we betting on this one at all?
We are betting. Do we want to do a 6-pack of our favorite NA beer?
Definitely.
All right. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're doing.
Definitely. If I'm still awake at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. And if my wife hasn't killed me,
gotcha.
We will be back on. Wrestling fans, it's, to quote the great Mark Henry, it's time
for the
main event.
All righty, guys. Thank you very much.
All right.
Hit the like, subscribe. We appreciate it. Everybody have a great show and enjoy Normal Rules.
Yes, Normal Rules, baby.